All right, in today's video, we're going to be looking at the FunWhole Cowboy Camp, part of the Old West series. I recently uploaded a video showing off all of the Old West sets that I had, thinking I had the full collection. The night after recording that, I looked online, and apparently, this set just came out, I guess, recently, because maybe I hadn't looked in a little bit. But I wanted to check it out, and I think this will be a good example of how they really go the extra mile, even in smaller sets. I haven't watched any reviews or anything. I have no idea what's going to be in here, but I think it's going to be pretty impressive as far as value and everything from my recent experiences with them. And it's apparently a pretty new set because I didn't even know it existed. So you've got the LED lights and everything. That's what really sets these sets apart. Not just that, but the quality. So we'll kind of go through everything here. So this is the instructions, which look great. Again, even the box looks great. Luckily, it didn't get damaged because, I'm not going to keep the box probably, but I wanted to showcase it. And Amazon just put a big label on top and shipped it to me in this box. But luckily, I just use a heat gun and just try to soften the glue a little bit, then it comes up. But yeah, 542 pieces. This is our service card for, like, if there's any problems or anything, which I've never really had before. Again, this was $35. This is a smaller set. But even then, they've got all kinds of little illustrations and extras in the instruction manual. This is something Lego does for very expensive sets or collectors kind of thing. But certainly not in just a small $35 set. So this is all of the LEDs that are included. A little battery box with a watch battery, or not a watch battery, but a 2032 cell battery. But it also comes with a USB cable. So we'll look at that stuff in a second here. But yeah, I think they just do a good job with the instructions, having everything laid out. I feel like I've heard people talk about lighting kits and whatever, and there's a lot of figure it out yourself. Whereas these, it goes through everything. This is going to show us how to test all of the LEDs before we even put them into the build. And then they're really good about, like, these pieces here, these tiles with the grooves and these guys. That's for routing the wires throughout the build. When I do start building, I won't do a time lapse or anything, but I'll try to get some B-roll, some footage of installing the lights and everything, because I think it's really cool. You guys know, like, electronics. So yeah, this is bag one here. So these are used if you want, a plug that's kind of built into the, well, these are plates. There it is. So yeah, see this little pad here? Well, actually, it's got sticky stuff on the bottom. So we'll peel that off and put it on here. And then all we have to do is stack these two plates together, and it completes the circuit. So it works really well if you have like a multi-level building and you want to be able to take the roof off and everything. You don't have to worry about all the wires getting in the way. This is the rest of the electronics here. So we've just got a coupler here. Comes with a little screwdriver, and then this is the battery box, which I'm not going to use anyways, but I think it's probably two 2032 batteries, but I'm not going to use that. That's just more safety precaution there. So I'll actually throw this coupler in here because we will use that with the USB cable. Let's see, I'll go ahead and just put these up for now. We'll test them later once I start building. And then we've got all our pieces, and these do come in numbered bags, which is awesome. Not every third-party company does that. Bag 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, and then there's usually some, like this is F. So this will have your figures, and it'll also have like these specialty tiles for routing wires underneath or through or any of that kind of thing. And then this is, okay, that is actually just a regular battery. And it looks like we've got some kind of got our little base plate there and some accessories, probably cooking utensils and whatnot, since this is a campfire. So yeah, that's what's in the box. And I've always been impressed Let me put these bags away. With the care that's taken with all this, you know, the numbered bags, the illustrated instructions with little extras in there, the electronics being organized and well documented, with the instructions and everything. So I have definitely been impressed with them. I think some of the earlier sets I bought from them were kind of disappointing in those areas. And I think that's something that's been addressed. So any more recent set, I would hope, would be up to this kind of standard. So I'm going to take this upstairs, get it built, and we'll show it off when it's done. And again, I'll try to show some kind of B-roll footage as I'm building, and just to show how things work with the lights and all that kind of thing. All right, so we got it all built. I know this isn't a very flattering camera angle, but I needed the tripod to be able to show a few things. So we got a few loose pieces here, so let me take those off so they don't bounce around. Two more. Okay, so this is our battery box under here. I've actually never really used them. I always just use the USB cable. But I wanted to show, since I'm doing a video, how this worked. It's two 2032 coin cell batteries inside of there. And then under here we have a little on-off switch. So we can just flip that on. And then we have the little lantern on the back. And there's a light inside as well, which you can't really do a whole lot about hiding that wire. But, not a huge deal. And then we also have the connector here. And that's what's actually going to connect to this rock and then supply power to the rest of it, which is pretty cool. Again, I'm not going to use the battery box. I'm going to be using, it comes with a coupler, and then you've got a USB cable. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but if you look inside of there, there are actually 4 pins. And then if you look at the wire, it only has 2. But what that means is that they've kind of accounted for, you can actually plug these in either way, and you'll still get proper polarity through the wires, because LEDs, they have to have, positive and negative to be able to work correctly. So I think that's really great, because I have used other lighting kits or even earlier FunWhole sets, and yeah, you could only plug them in one way, and it was a little bit of a pain in the butt. But I think that's a great solution to just one less thing to worry about. Makes it a little bit easier to put these together. So now we can just set this on the rock. And I actually started trying to do that like an idiot. But yeah, I was wrong. It needs to go this way. So I'm going to kind of bend down here so I can see what I'm doing. And it just should go on just like that. And you can see our fire is now lit. And we've got a light inside of the tent. So with that out of the way, let me just get off the tripod here so we can get a better look at all this. So yeah, these are the minifigures, which I'm not going to use. I'm not really a huge fan of them. But, I mean, they do come with them. Maybe you'll like them. I don't know. I've never actually even put them together. Just did it for the video. You can see there, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, even if he is left-handed, he's just playing the guitar a little weird. So I made my guy right-handed. There's nothing wrong with being left-handed, but it's just the way he's holding the guitar is just kind of wonky. These are all the extra pieces we had. I don't know what these are. I guess this is all just kind of, oh yeah, this is cooking kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a mixer there. It doesn't really go with the Wild West, but all of those pieces came on a sprue. So that's why we got some kind of extras that are a little strange. It's strange to have a 1x4 plate that was extra, but I looked through the instructions and I didn't see it. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and I think it looks pretty great. I really like the lighting effects. You can see here, there it goes, that if it's a round 2x2 plate like that, they usually kind of fade in and out like that because it's usually used for fire. I had at least one other set that used that. So I think that's pretty cool. It gets a little bit of not motion, but, you know, a little bit of change, I guess, in there. So yeah, we've got the wagon here, and we got little cactuses, and the tree with the brick-built buzzard. We've got the horse, which you actually have to assemble, which is a little different from the Lego horses. But again, they kind of have to. Some of the pieces, you'll notice some strange differences, and I think a lot of that is trying to avoid dealing with Lego being Lego. Fairly litigious company. But I will say there are a lot of pieces here that you wouldn't find with a Lego set. So they are kind of doing their own thing too. You know, they're not just stealing the designs for the bricks. As far as I know, they don't steal designs for the sets. Some other third-party companies do. Even from Lego fans, not just from Lego. You know, it's kind of a mess. And I try to stay away from those companies as much as possible. But as a customer, I feel like the value is just out of this world for the FunWhole sets. But, you know, there could be reasons why they're a little cheaper. I didn't mean to drop that. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Well, it's supposed to go up in here. Anyways, well, I guess I kind of lost my train of thought there. But, yeah, I'm impressed with it. It's a small set. I think I paid $35 for it, I'm pretty sure. That's not too bad. And again, you can also, a lot of times, find 2 packs. Like, you can get this set and one of the other Wild West sets. So that's a good way to save a little bit of money. But I already had all the other Wild West sets. But occasionally they will actually have, like, a set from 2 different series and have them in a pack together. So if you like talking about Lego or third-party companies like FunWhole or Lumibricks or any of those, come join us in Discord. We do not discourage talking about off-brand or whatever you want to call it. I hesitate to even call Lego the leading brand at this point, you know, especially when a company like this is really knocking it out of the park. I want to give a huge thanks to the channel members for helping keep the lights on here. It's very much appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.